Hey guys, Harsh here, back in the video. So as you can see, I have another KAIDO house mini GT for you guys today. So this is the number 66 Chevrolet Silverado KAIDO version 1. I believe this is how you pronounce it, probably not. So this is in a very nice black and red livery, and also some chrome parts are also there, so it is a quite nice model to have. And as you can see, it is in a standard KAIDO house packaging with the hard case. That's pretty nice. Also, I would have loved to see a small cutout over here so that you can easily look inside the box and see the vehicle, but it is okay enough for the price. And as you can see, we get the original Silverado over here. It is an actual image, not the diecast model. The box is pretty nice, as you can see, as always. And here is the model from the top, you can see. So if we just try to take it out gently, because this is a very expensive model, and as you can see, the black portion stayed inside and the truck came out like this. So flip it over, we get our first look at the model, and as you can see, the detailing is quite spot on. And this is a low ride specific, I think that's what you call it, because as you can see, the wheels are quite a bit covered by the fenders. So I'm not sure how they were able to make it a free rolling chassis, because the ground clearance on this particular vehicle is pretty low, but it still rolls quite nicely. So that's pretty nice as well. And as always, let's take a closer look at it. So right off the bat, as you can see, the print quality and the detailing is quite good on this particular version. The front grille on the model, as you can see, it is not that much detail, because I don't think there were details to add. Although you can see the Chevrolet logo, which is quite nicely embedded, or I don't think it is a separate piece. It is just like embedded onto the metal body, not sure how. And the headlights, I mean, there could be more detail, but I haven't actually seen the original headlights on the original car, so can't really say if that is the case in the real version as well. But the KAIDO house cars usually have a very nice detail in terms of the headlights, so I'm guessing it is the real case as well. You can see this huge chrome front bumper, which is quite nice to see, and also the tips of it, these little spikes that you see, are actually painted black. Don't know the reason why. I think it's for bumping purpose, something like that, but whatever the reason, it looks quite good. Or maybe sometimes what happens is that they use metallic chrome coating, and if it has been through a rough hands, the metallic coating starts to fade away and the black portion starts to stick out, so it maybe look like a worn down version. Moving to the hood, you can see we get some black stripes with the configuration of the engine, I believe, which is fuel injected twin turbo. I'm guessing that wasn't the case for the original Silverado. They had to modify the engine quite a bit to get that sort of performance out of it. On the side, you can see we have this indicator over here, yellow in color. It is painted, not an actual plastic insert, so quite disappointed to see that in a KAIDO house version, because you pay a lot of prices for this model, so at least you would expect some sort of details that you get with it. I honestly bought this because of the, first of all, the livery on this truck. It's absolutely beautiful, and it is actually a truck, so I don't know why I like this particular pickup truck design, but it is quite nice to have. That's why I bought it. Then if we take a look at the wheels, as always, these are alloy wheels with the printed text in Japanese, I believe, which I cannot read, so I will just leave it to my Japanese viewers so that they can identify and say whatever that is written on the tire wall. But as you can see, the tire looks pretty nice. It is quite deep though, not sure why, and the thickness is quite good on this particular version. The back tires, however, are quite thick. There is another detail to look for, and as always, the bottom is in this nice holographic metallic finish, whatever you call it. Not sure how they get that, but still it looks pretty nice, gives a very nice funky look to the car. And what I found out is that these silver rods that you actually see going to the side is actually the exhaust system, and this is by far one of the worst exhaust I have seen in a mini GT, because they don't have the hole inside them nor the black paint inside them because of the lack of hole. So this exhaust, in my opinion, receives a 0 score rating, and this should have been the one of the more detailed exhaust system from mini GT, but it is sadly not the case. Now, one thing I forgot is the hood, which actually can open up, so it is quite easy to do so. As you can see, you get a look at the engine itself. I will be removing the body, so just don't worry, I will show you the whole inside quite clearly if it's possible then. So it is a 4-cylinder, I think, engine, and twin turbo. So one turbo is right over here and the other one sits over here, as you can see, on both the ends. Quite nice to see that. And then we have some other engine details as well, with the cam cover being the KAIDO house plate. Quite nice to see that as well. Also here we have a warning sticker, something like that, which I am not sure, on this side as well. As you can see, it is quite easy to move, so the lubrication, I think, is done quite perfectly, or I don't know if it's any lubrication or not, but it does open only this much. I was expecting a bit more, because you don't get a proper look at the engine with this much of opening. So maybe something to look for in future models as they can improve it here. The mirrors over here are made up of soft rubber, so as you can see they are very easily flexible and can easily break off if you track them quite hard. So I wouldn't recommend that at all. They are silver painted all the way, and if you look at the door, it is just a simple door with the door handle and a slight paint on it. Nothing too special here, along with some markings for the car culture for or scales and the KAIDO house logo. This is their motto, I think, and some text in Japanese again, which I cannot pronounce obviously. On the other hand, it's the same thing. Here we get another configuration for the engine, which is 7.4 twin turbo. 7.4 I'm guessing liters, but I hardly believe that is the case, so correct me if I am wrong. And then we have this KAIDO logo over here, which I cannot actually make out of what it is. The above says 10, then it says KAIDO, and then we have a nuclear sign or something like that. Not sure what it is. Maybe I will need to do some research on this one as well. If you move to the back, you can see we have the number 11 in a very old fashioned way, which is to put a white background and then the black numbers onto the car body. It was the standard in racing quite a while back, so kind of gives a vintage vibe to it. If you move further back, you can see we have the Silverado logo, or I should say the name of it, and then we have Beltec, which is the company I think which sponsored this build. I don't know. Also on the differential over here, as you can see, we get that logo as well. The truck bed is quite nicely detailed, you can see, with this sort of wavy pattern given to it. Looks very nice. And the trunk over here also moves out, so you can see it has two moving parts, although this one I think doesn't quite fit well. As you can see, there is some space left over here. Maybe if you try to push it a bit, then it will go in its place. So as you can see, now I think it is okay. At the back, you can see we have headlights. These are plastic inserts in red color. Quite nice to see that. And no back indicators over here. Not sure why, but this is quite an old model, so I'm guessing that indicators back then weren't on the back side of the vehicle, so it is okay. Then you can see we have this Chevrolet written over here. It is quite faint. Not sure how the camera was able to pick it up, but if you try to look at it from the naked eye, it will be quite difficult to do so. Also, you have this cutout over here for the door handle, which you can use to open this trunk up in the real car, but obviously in this model you can just use your finger to do so. Then we have this chrome bumper with this tow hook over here as well, which is quite nice to see, although as you can see it is quite a bit skewed, so not touching the ground at all. It is just popping out like it's sort of bent in some way. Behind that we have the license plate, which again says something in Japanese, and the year I believe, which is 1983, the year this Silverado was I think manufactured. So all in all, a very nice detailed truck. Now let's open up these two screws over here, and yes, you can actually open up this model and try to take a closer look at the interior and the engine. So let me just try to do it and show you what the chassis look like. So unfortunately the engine stayed inside this main body, and this is what the chassis looks like. As you can see, the necessary area are only painted. You get to look at the seats over here. Pretty standard mini GT interior, but this time it is sort of silver painted apart from the seats. And if you try to take a look at the inside over here, you can see we have the steering wheel, a dashboard with the like sort of glove box, some AC vents, and the steering wheel with the like indicators and the wipers for the car. So nothing too special over here. And if you try to take a look at the engine itself, you can see it is still there, which is stuck onto the body over here. I think if we try to remove this screw over here, then I think we can totally remove the hood. So let me just try to do that one as well and see how it goes. So even after removing it, I still cannot get the hood out, but now you can get a closer look at the engine itself, which is quite nice. And right now I am actually thinking I was wrong actually, because this is I think a 8-cylinder engine, not a 4-cylinder like I originally thought, because you have 4-cylinder on this side and 4-cylinder on this side, so it is a V8 engine by the looks of it. So apologies for that, but the details on this one I think are quite good. You can see the pipes going through the intake for the turbos going into the intake of the engine itself, so it is quite nice to see that. So let me just put it back together and end this video. So there it is guys, the Chevy Silverado KAIDO house livery truck. I don't know if it has been produced in real life or not. I still need to do some research to find that out, but a very nice model indeed, with the black and red livery. Looks very nice on this particular version. Also the gold alloy wheels I think are quite good on this one as well. So thanks for watching the video guys, hopefully you enjoyed it, and if you have any suggestions you can just comment down below. I will try to respond to them as soon as possible. So as always, I will catch you all in the next one.